Today's the 31st of January, which means we are going to talk about all the games that I played in the month of January. We've got multiple games here to talk about. There's two other things here, but I had a Call of Duty marathon this month. I'm going to sound like a bit of an old head here, but I played all the ones from the golden age of Call of Duty, which also just happen to be the ones that I grew up with. Like, I'm not the biggest hater that you'll find of modern Call of Duty games. Some of them do genuinely suck, but I will give them a try. I will see if I'm interested in them or not. Oftentimes, I'm not. And then I'll just kind of, leave it there. But after replaying these campaigns, it just blows my mind that they were able to release these games year after year. Let's talk about this, though, real quick. Crash Bash. Crash Bash, the majority of this, to be fair, was played in December. But I did finish it. I finished the 200% completion requirements this month in January. This was a genuinely painful game at times. That there are certain minigames that are just so unfair with the CPU. For me, it's the Platinum Relics that really ruin this game, because the Platinum Relics, you need to win a minigame 3 times in a row, and the CPU are, of course, rigged against you. It's very obvious and clear. Especially in the final, my final Platinum Relic, where you have to win this race 3 times in a row, and at the beginning, sometimes the CPU just skip entire laps. Like, they'll skip multiple laps sometimes, and you have to win 3 in a row. So if they're going to do that and then continue to play perfectly, there is a 0% chance that you win. So yeah, very tough game thanks to its artificial difficulty. And maybe one day I will come back to that. I think my tea's getting cold. Hang on a sec. I also did play the new Ultimate in Final Fantasy XIV this month, but I didn't finish it. Man. I'm at the end of Phase 4, so there's not that much to go, but I'll talk about that in the next month video when I've actually finished it. Right, first Call of Duty game that I played, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is where me and many other people were introduced to the series. I haven't ever played the games before this one. I imagine they're pretty good just based on the fact that it ended up becoming a yearly series before this even came out. But this is really where the series picked up and a lot of people started playing. I remember, I think I was 7 years old and my friend had it. We went over to a friend's house and he was playing it. And I remember just asking my parents if we could get that game. I think this might be my original copy. It does say Game of the Year edition, so I don't know when that released. But for however long I had this, I played it so much. The multiplayer and the campaign was brilliant. Obviously, you get to play as Soap, Captain Price. What the hell kind of name is Soap? There were 2 missions that really stood out to me when I was a kid. And that was the AC-130 mission. For once, you're not on the ground fighting and, taking cover. You're just in this unstoppable AC-130 for the whole mission. And the missions where you play as Lieutenant Price, or Lieutenant Price, with Captain Macmillan. The stealth missions, they were so good. They're absolutely ridiculous, and to be fair, the later Call of Duty games only get crazier and crazier. There is quite literally a section where there's a bunch of soldiers and tanks patrolling, and you're literally just lying down in the grass, crawling around them, and they just don't see you. And I mean crawling at their feet, like they are right in front of you. It's insane. There's many moments in these games where you can't help but just think, yeah, this would never work in real life. Like, don't get me wrong, I know about ghillie suits, but when the person is like right at your feet crawling and there's not just one guy walking past you, it's like 100 men. Yeah, a little bit insane. Not sure how they got through that one. Later on in 2008, Call of Duty World at War came out. I was there for the day 1 release. This is still one of the best games the series has ever seen, just based on the fact that it's got an incredible campaign, a good multiplayer, and it introduced zombies. It's not even like it's shitty. Like, the first map is a bit basic, sure, but even that, for its time, there were no huge storylines or Easter eggs or anything like that. People were just happy to survive to a high round, trying to get a ray gun, hitting the box 3 times with a knife and spinning, trying to get a ray gun. Campaigns also got one of the best soundtracks in the entire series. It might even be the best soundtrack. Classic characters like Reznov. This, in my opinion, is the best game in the series. I still remember the Easter egg to get a ray gun in the campaign, so I was able to pull that off. I really hope they remake or remaster that at some point and try and keep it as close to the original as possible. Next up, we've got Modern Warfare 2. This is where the series really started to get crazy. That snowmobile part where you go down this like insanely convenient flat mountain with a huge ramp at the end. I've always loved this campaign though, and my most popular video on my channel is based on a moment from this game. Ghost and Roach being betrayed by Shepard, but it did pay off in the end where you get to throw a knife into Shepard's eye. That was a very satisfying moment in my opinion, but there's loads of crazy moments in this game. Had one of the better multiplayers out of them all. You know, it introduced the nuke, the AC-130, the chopper gunner. You gotta remember that before this, you only had the 3 basic default kill streaks. It was like the recon plane, the artillery strike, and the dogs. In this, you could just nuke everyone and end the game early if you got 25 kills without dying. Next up, we've got Black Ops. This is the last campaign out of the games that I'm talking about today that I actually already played before. You've just got to like think, how the fuck did they create these games year after year? I know this series is known as just like yearly slop now. Like people will play COD, people will play FIFA, NBA, and then complain that gaming is dead, and they'll get made fun of by everyone because all they play is Call of Duty. But I don't think people remember these games used to be genuine quality. Campaign was brilliant, you know, more classic characters like Hudson.
Where? Cuba.
Woods. Reznov is in this one too, mostly as what do you call it, a hallucination, I guess. But he is, I mean, I suppose he's still there, right? He's still there as a character. He's still got his dialogue and everything. It did have like a throwback mission where you actually get to play as Reznov. I think, what was the mission called? Like Project Nova or something? You actually get to play as Reznov with Dimitri from World at War, who you play as in World at War. And it includes a bunch of weapons from Call of Duty World at War that are not actually in Black Ops outside of that mission. So really cool stuff here. But that is where I stopped playing the series when I was a kid, because Modern Warfare 3 released and we did buy it. And I just remember being like, this is legit just Modern Warfare 2 too. Even had the same menu, and I just never bothered to play the campaign or even the multiplayer that much. So it was my first time playing through this campaign, and to be fair, I think I was a bit harsh on it. I mean, I feel like if you enjoy Modern Warfare 2 like I did, you know, you would just like this game anyway. Continues the trend of having insanely crazy missions. The Eiffel Tower completely gets destroyed in one of them. There are some missions that are kind of like throwbacks to the original Modern Warfare, like you've got another AC-130 mission. The stealth missions with Price, similar to the ones that you had with Captain Macmillan in Modern Warfare. And speaking of Captain Macmillan, it's actually revealed that he's base plate in Modern Warfare 3. So it was cool to see that. I definitely enjoyed the campaign and probably would have enjoyed the multiplayer if I played it when I was younger as well. I just didn't give it a chance when I was a kid. And lastly, we have Black Ops 2. I did play the crap out of this when I was younger for the multiplayer, but I never touched the campaign. I actually do like how there's certain choices that you can make in this game that will affect the outcome, that it will affect the ending that you get. I actually got the bad ending, I think, where Woods dies, but Mason lives, I think, because I didn't shoot Mason when, you know, the sniping mission. Well, actually, no, I did at first, and then I realized, and I just saved and quit. But Mason lived and Woods died. Apparently, you can't get a good ending unless you do the Strike Force missions, which are like a new kind of side mission introduced in this game that I personally just did not care about that much. I did like 2 of them, and that was it. I didn't care to finish the rest, but apparently, if you don't finish the rest of them, you can't get the best ending. So I don't care that much. I just wanted to play the campaign. This game probably has the craziest mission of all time in this game. The one where you're playing as Menendez and he's in rage mode. He just destroys an entire army. He runs through this entire place. He's just destroying an entire army on his own. Crazy campaign. Definitely stands with the rest of them in my opinion. And that's where I called it for Call of Duty when I was younger. I didn't care for Ghosts, which was the one that came after Black Ops 2. Again, you can already see that my interest in the series was dying out, and Ghosts didn't even make me slightly interested to the point of even buying the game. So that's where I kind of stopped. I never played Advanced Warfare either. Black Ops 3 I think I was only interested in because I liked the first 2 games, but I never played that. Infinite Warfare, like I just stopped playing the series after this point. And every now and then I would buy them. Again, like I bought Call of Duty World War II, played through that. I bought Cold War, but in my opinion, they just never ever got back to the quality of these games. But that was my Call of Duty marathon, and they are the games that I played in January of 2025. Speaking of 2025, oh my god, that is when Black Ops 2 actually takes place. But that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down below what you played this month, and yeah, definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you all in my next video.